The Minnesota Timberwolves won the 2020 NBA Draft Lottery and now hold a ticket to relevancy in the Western Conference. Edging out the Golden State Warriors and Charlotte Hornets, the Wolves now have the coveted opportunity to get first hands on the next NBA star. Now, President of Basketball Operations, Gerson Rosas, has a very important decision to make on which emerging talent he will bring in to join the youthful current roster. It may be only one pick, but this selection could quite literally make or break the franchise for the foreseeable future. The team currently has the services of young stars D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns, both of whom have already been all-stars in the association. Because of this, unlike most lottery teams, the Timberwolves already have a solid foundation of legitimate NBA aptitude to build upon. Although it's a good headache to have, this situation can sway the organization into choosing between the best prospect available or a player that can come in and complement their two young stars in an attempt to build a more balanced roster overall. As of right now, the widely agreed consensus is LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and James Wiseman are the top 3 prospects in the draft. It's likely all 3 players will off the draft board with the top 3 picks, so let's jump into which player the Timberwolves should select on the evening. But before we jump in, please remember that if you've enjoyed the video thus far and can't wait to see who the Timberwolves should use to draft with their number 1 draft pick, then please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and make sure to tell your friends and family about the journey we are about to embark on. After opting to disregard the traditional American system and head overseas, LaMelo Ball's stock has continued to rise during his first taste of professional basketball. The 19-year-old played in Australia last season for the Illawarra Hawks and was highly impressive in his one-and-done season. The league down under is one of the best leagues in the world, and Ball set the league on fire with his dynamic and exciting play. Younger brother of New Orleans Pelicans Lonzo Ball, LaMelo's transition into the NBA could be made easier by leaning on his brother for guidance. The prospect of integrating Ball would present a challenge in itself for the franchise. Star point guard D'Angelo Russell already occupies Ball's natural position as point guard, and both players are most productive with the ball in their hands. As we've seen in past situations, having 2 ball-dominant guards can drastically reduce the development and effectiveness of one of the players. It can prove difficult to work around, as a coach needs to find the right balance of both players running the show. One of the solutions is to give them both the opportunity to run the team as the other rests on the bench, but this isn't ideal as you want all your best players on the floor at the same time functioning cohesively. At 6'7", Ball is coming into the association as one of the biggest and longest guards on size alone. He is viewed as a combo guard, but his inconsistency shooting from long distance makes playing him off the ball problematic. On the other hand, Russell is a fantastic shooter from beyond the arc, but doesn't possess the dynamic athletic tools to get himself open consistently. He is more prolific with creating his 3-point attempts off the dribble, so in essence, playing either player off the ball doesn't maximize them. Nevertheless, Ball remains a real option, as his superstar potential may outweigh his uneasy fit. He has supreme athletic framework and elite playmaking and court vision. If the Timberwolves pass on Ball, and he develops into a genuine superstar, it could be one of the worst decisions in franchise history. Like Ball, the selection of Wiseman could pose an obstacle for the Timberwolves in joining the roster. Much like Ball-Russell's situation, the Wolves already boast a young star at center in Karl Anthony Towns. The difference between the two situations is that the implementation of Wiseman would prove a little easier. The main reason is because Wiseman and Towns are 2 completely different players despite playing the same position. Towns is polished offensively, with most growth to do on the defensive end, whereas Wiseman has Defensive Player of the Year potential and is extremely raw offensively. Due to this, it's assumed Towns will slide down into the power forward position, and this transition will likely be quite easy as Towns' ability to mirror the modern-day stretch 4. If Wiseman does come in, and his upside is what we anticipate, the Timberwolves could soon boast the most dominant front courts in the entire league on both ends. Both individual styles would complement each other. However, it could also hinder the development of both players on the side of the ball that they need the most growth, presenting an underrated factor that needs to be considered. The selection of Anthony Edwards makes the most sense from a roster construction point of view. Edwards is a 6'5" wing that is athletically explosive and has shown the ability to create his own offense. His integration would likely be seamless, and he would be able to contribute immediately as his body is the most NBA ready out of the 3 prospects. Edwards also has the potential to be a 2-way force in the league, something that can be invaluable for a franchise in the hopes of realistically competing for a championship one day. With the addition of Edwards, he would instantly see meaningful NBA minutes and would have the opportunity to learn how to play off the ball with Russell and Towns. His offense does need work, and his defensive application has been questioned, but his potential on both sides of the floor is evident. The current NBA environment provides you can never have too many productive and versatile wings, as teams want to play faster and the league is getting small with each passing season. With the very real potential to fit that mold, many believe Edwards is the clear-cut #1 prospect in this draft. Despite their differences, it's likely all three of these prospects will eventually transform into all-star caliber players in the NBA. Because of this, it's hard to go wrong with any choice, as all players are vastly different and offer different assets. With that being said, the Timberwolves already have 2 proven all-stars in Towns and Russell. As a result, they should lean towards selecting Edwards with the first overall pick. They are already getting production from the point guard and center positions, and if they can develop Edwards into a star on the wing, they could be a formidable force in the Western Conference in the not-so-distant future.